But
Yep.
bottom line is I did exactly what he told me to do, and I inoculated each horizon as I was building the bed with fish brew. And I scored very, very well on the tests. Biology is cycling nutrients like we want. So it's simply working out.
So interesting story. There's a gentleman out here, Ian Hunter, who is Cure Soil. If anyone wants to look him up on Instagram, great kid. I can honestly call him a true friend. I sent him a aging report or a historical report on some compost I made. And the reason I did all of these testing was I wanted to know the sweet spot of the bell curve for when I was getting incredibly high numbers of protozoa before they started to fall off. So I'm working with specific materials. I'm in a bakery. I'm using flour. I'm using cornmeal. I'm using all of these different ingredients. And I have unlimited ingredients. So with this particular blend was designed for California so that it had a high water storage capacity, but it also had a tremendous amount of ability for it to hold inoculant. So I'm going to use the term core, cocoa core. Cocoa core is like threads. And inside those threads, there's pockets and tubes where the bacteria and the biology can get in there and live until they establish themselves in their new environment. So that's exactly what I wanted, was this mix. So I use core coming out of an organic, horizontal or vertical farm in LA. I'm using spent mushroom substrate out of a mushroom farmer in LA. I'm using GOM, ground up organic matter. And I'm using kiln dried fines. So think of 2x4s, run through a grinder. They screen off the big stuff because they like to use that to dye and make mulches. The fact that that stuff holds the dye means that it's very easy to hydrate it. So once it gets wet, it holds that color, it holds that moisture. But the kiln dried provides structure out of the gate. The GOM provides structure out of the gate, but eventually that structure, as it's consumed, starts to collapse on itself. And then I can get into a situation where I can potentially go anaerobic, right? Now, that's in a situation where it's being overwatered. It's not being allowed to break down and turn into fines that migrate down into that A horizon. So just again, to be really careful about how I'm saying this. So I wanted to know where that bell curve was as the compost matured. So I did day 14, day 37, day 90, day 137. And what it showed was the sweet spot was between day 30 and day 90. So next time I'm going to test it day 45 to see, right in the middle there, what's going on. Where is that peak? Because what I'm trying to figure out is how to get you the best, most powerful inoculant that I can based on time. So if I know I have a job coming up in 3 months, all right, I better mix it right now. If the job is in 6 months, I'm going to wait 3 months and then mix it. You follow me? So that I'm giving it to you in the sweet spot. So this guy, Ian, I send him this aging report, this historical data. And he goes, is it all right if I call her? And I'm like, yeah, Ian, go ahead, talk to her, whatever. So he called her and he poked holes at her for an hour because he did not believe my protozoa numbers. He said, I've never seen anything like this. He makes biodynamic compost and he gets good protozoa numbers, but he's never seen anything like in the millions, right? And so he didn't believe that that was even possible. And I was like, yeah, good, do it, man. Try to shoot holes in me. And I'll send you a fucking sample. I'll send Nick from Humankind, his buddy up in Oregon. I'll send him a sample. I don't care. And I just did, actually. Because, the more people that understand that this combination of biocomplete compost, I actually made them compost hash, dude. I sent them a sample of my compost, and then I actually made a compost hash. So compost hash is my biocomplete compost, some worm castings. Everything is agitated in pure fish brew, and then I take it, I screen it through 47 micron. All of the goo that's the silt that's stuck on the 47 micron screen, I then put in a plant press, and I press it till I get to about 40% moisture. Then I take it and I rescreen it and fluff it up so oxygen can get in and it can breathe. And I have material that's shelf stable forever. Like, as a matter of fact, the older it gets, the better it gets.
Okay.
So I'll have numbers because I asked him, I'm gonna pay for a full report. So I'll have numbers on my compost and numbers on my compost ash.
Fascinating.
and that's his buddy. So I know fucking Nick's gonna be calling Ian going, who the fuck is this guy? How does he how the fuck does he do this? I've never seen anything like it.
Very cool.